officials from across Latin America during my visit. Here in Mexico, President AMLO's government is introducing many important changes, not just to life in this country, but also in terms of forging a regional unity outside the domination of the United States and the Organization of American States. And we meet at a time of exciting changes, not just here in Mexico, but elsewhere in Latin America. Bolivia's social change, following the defeat of the US and UK-backed coup last year, is, quite honestly, an inspiration to us all. The Movement a Socialismo government of President Lula Arce shows that it is possible to put people and the planet before private profit, tackling hunger and poverty and providing free healthcare and education. It's also leading the way in terms of climate justice policies, both in this country itself, such as recognising the rights of the nature, and on the world stage. I was proud to stand in solidarity with the government of Bolivia following attempts by right-wing extremists to launch a new coup. The Peace and Justice Project, which I helped to found last year, sent a message of support to President Arce and will continue to do what we can to preserve the democratically elected government of Bolivia. After the corporate greenwash failure that was COP26, we need to work with Bolivia and others for a real green agenda, more than ever. And it's not just the left in power that must stand in solidarity. In countries where the right wing and neoliberal remain in charge, we're seeing growing resistance. Resistance that deserves and needs our support. Mass movements from trade unions to climate justice campaigners to indigenous movements to people campaigning against racism, sexism and homophobia right across the continent are standing up against the inequality and crony capitalism and for a better future. In Chile, there is a real change, but there is also a real danger that Jose Antonio Cast, who is a proud supporter of the oppressive far right-wing policies of Pinochet, could win the presidential election runoff in a few weeks' time. His challenger in the runoff is the young progressive candidate, Gabriel Boric, and it's vital that people unite in Chile and vote for him. The left must defeat this worrying rise in right-wing and fascist ideology in Latin America, just as it must all around the world. Just look at the example of Brazil. Bolsonaro is lying miles behind Lula in the polls. Lula is now free, and if democracy is respected, he will win next year and be back where he belongs as president of Brazil. Relief around the world, a sigh of relief, including in Latin America. His sanctions against countries such as Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela were both deadly and illegal. Sadly, so far, President Biden has kept these sanctions in place, even during the pandemic. So we must keep up the international pressure for the sanctions to go. And this campaigning must also involve ensuring that the British government works in a cooperative way with Latin America, advancing an agenda for peace and cooperation, rather than supporting regime change in countries like Venezuela, and supporting repressive right-wing governments such as those as in Brazil and Colombia and Honduras. We should say no to unethical arms sales to these and to other countries. And just as we are internationalists, we're inspired by the internationalism of the left in both Latin America and in the Caribbean. Look at Cuba's doctors around the world, helping people and countries across all continents. What an example for us all. The left in Latin America is making a difference. Let's make a difference ourselves by supporting all the solidarity organisations present there today. Sorry again for not being with you today. Together, we can win a better The people united will never be defeated. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Viva Latin America, viva la solidaridad, viva socialismo.